The Leaders Coach podcast is about connecting leaders to an identity that will help transform their leadership by engaging in conversations that lead to opportunities for growth, authenticity, and vulnerability. As we're unlocked, we simultaneously empower others to live and lead unique and authentic lives. Let's go deeper. Welcome to the Leaders Coach podcast with Dr. Shanita Brown. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the final episode of the Leaders Coach podcast with Dr. Shanita Brown. Season 3 has been, what the kids say, lit. I don't even know if they say lit no more. I don't even know what they say. They say so much. But it has been an amazing season of self-awareness. And I hope that you've grown in an area of self-awareness as I've grown. And if you just go back and listen to the other episodes, we've talked about internal self-awareness. We've talked about external self-awareness. We've talked about a self-awareness within culture. We've talked about your tone. We've talked about the power of no. We've just talked about so many things as it relates to self-awareness. And as you guys were learning, trust me, I was learning too. And I too was being stretched in the area of self-awareness. And I believe that my self-awareness has definitely grown, and it has just become more aware, right? Just aware of how my behaviors affect other people and what's going on the inside of me and my triggers, and making sure that I'm responding with wisdom and responding in the fruitful things that I need to respond in. And so it's been an incredible season, and we're just here at our last season, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed it, I want to hear from you, right? I want to hear from you. You guys already know. How can we hear from you? I want to hear from you. Go to the Leaders Coach Podcast. .com, the leaderscoachpodcast.com. Also, you guys can email us at leaderscoach@ShanitaBrown.com. Follow me on my personal Twitter at Dr. Shanita_Brown. That's on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, which is now X, right? And so again, we want to hear from you. Also, our Instagram at the Leaders Coach Pod. Instagram, that's the Leaders Coach Pod, and we want to hear from you. We want to see how this season has been a blessing for you and the things that it has done for you, to you, and through you. So y'all already know how we do. We're gonna go ahead and just jump right into our segment of the day, of the first segment of the day. And that first segment of the day is our question of the day. And that question is brought to you by checkin.daresay.io. And so y'all know, y'all been rocking me for a long time. The first question that popped up was, what is the biggest challenge that I want to overcome in the next few weeks? Great question. And I think the biggest challenge that I want to overcome in the next few weeks is a great question. I got to really think about that. I have a few things that I do want to overcome, but I would just say I wouldn't say my fear, but I would say overcoming the mindset, right? The mindset of that I can't have it, right? I think that's imperative. So for me, it will be overcoming the mindset of I cannot have it. Like, if I know that I've worked hard for something and I know that I deserve it, in the sense of, when I say deserve it, because that's a whole nother thing. When I say deserve it, like, because I worked hard for it, right? I think just overcoming the ideal and the mindset that I can't have it, right? Because of maybe what external factors are saying. But I know I've worked hard. I know I've worked hard to become this person that I am. And so I think the biggest challenge for me would just be, look, I worked hard for this and I deserve it. So just overcoming that mindset in the next few weeks, and knowing that whatever I put my mind to, I can do it. And it's not always something that I struggle with all the time, but sometimes it does pop up, and just continuously walking in that confidence. And like I tell my students all the time, you have to consciously, again, self-aware, right? Consciously just be aware of what you're thinking, what you have in your mind and in your heart, because sometimes those things pop up, and we as believers, those who are believers, y'all know my show is based on Christianity. We have to be aware of those thoughts and bringing those thoughts down into the alignment of God's truth, right? And so I think that just knowing that I worked hard for this and I deserve it and I can have it, I think that is the obstacle, the challenge that I want to overcome in the next few weeks or so. We want to hear from you. What would you like to overcome in the next few weeks? What challenges that are you facing that you would like to overcome? We want to hear from you. You guys know how y'all can hit us up, leaderscoach@ShanitaBrown.com, or you guys can hit us up on our Twitter. On our Instagram at the Leaders Coach Pod on Instagram, and go ahead and type in those comments because we want to hear from you. And so our next quote of the day, here we go. Our next segment of the day is our leadership quote. This was a new segment that I thought about this season. I'm liking it. So I would love to hear, what are your thoughts? How have you liked it? And so for me, I would say the leadership quote, I remember when I was a freshman in high school, and I don't even remember my English teacher name, but she played a very important role in my life because we had what we call journal entries every time we walked into her class. And so on this particular day, and this one we had pen and paper, so we had to write this stuff out. It wasn't typing or chat GPT or AI. We had to write this stuff out, and my handwriting still is not that good, so I can't even imagine how it looked back in the day. But one of the things that she did mention for our quote of the day was, what the butterfly calls the end. What the caterpillar calls the end, the butterfly calls the beginning. What the caterpillar calls the end, the butterfly calls the beginning. And that spoke volumes to me. That quote, I still remember it to this day. Of course, I remember others, but that one, because sometimes we think we get to an end of a thing, because when you think about a caterpillar and a butterfly, they're pretty much the same thing, but they are in two different seasons, right? Two different phases of life. And that caterpillar is in that cocoon where it's being built, where it's being shaped to come into this beautiful insect, this beautiful creature that we as humans, that we are able to enjoy its beauty, right? We see all of the colors, it's flying and all those different things like that. And so I really want to just encourage, so that quote. So I just want to say to my Pathfinders, my listeners, the Pathfinders, I want to say to you, you may be in a cocoon place right now, but you are getting ready to fly. And I know that's cliche-ish. I get it. People get tired of, you go come out and this and that. And I trust me, I get you 100%. But I really just do feel that, because whatever that cocoon season, that phase of life that you're in, you're turning into something beautiful. We have to learn to take the steps of everyday life. And as Pathfinders, what we do when we are in that cocoon, we don't just stay in that cocoon. We're learning. We're a sponge. We're growing. We're seeing how we can adapt. We're seeing how our mindset has to change, how we have to perceive things differently. So we are actually learning in the growing, right? We're actually learning in the growing. And so what the caterpillar calls the end. So whatever you may feel like, this is the end. It may be an end of a season. It may be an end of a mindset. It may be an end of a relationship. Just know that your beginning is on the horizon. Your beginning is going to be so far greater than what your former was. Why? Because it's the way of life, right? When your skin shed, you're shedding old skin to get new skin. Just like with a snake, it sheds skin. And so just know that, hey, the best is yet to come. The best is on the horizon, Pathfinder. Because us as Pathfinders, even when we feel like we're stuck, we're still building a path. We're still finding ways. We're still journeying through this life, through this thing, so we can find a solution at the end. And therefore, we can go back and tell our story of how we overcame and how we can get others to get on board and help them find a path and a way forward with whatever journey that they're on. And so again, what the caterpillar calls the end, just know the butterfly calls the beginning, right? So next segment is our root check. I think I might have to record that myself, my root check. But I was going to say, if the fruit is off, the root is off, right? And so just this week, or these past few weeks rather, I know last time we talked, it was about my frustration, and I was just like, I'm just so frustrated with a lot of things, and I've overcome that, because like I told you, I did not want to live in that. I couldn't continue to live in a place that was not meant for me to live in. Hello, somebody. I'm not meant to live in a constant, consistent place of frustration, nor are you, right? We are meant to live in the abundance, and we are meant to live in a consistent flow of joy, love, peace, prosperity, long suffering, meekness, humility. Those are the characteristics of God. And so we are meant to live in those things. Why? Because God lives in us. Yes, he lives in you. He lives in us, right? And that's one of the things I've been teaching my Bible study students. And that's just kind of been on my heart the past few weeks with them. Like, we'll just put our hand on our heart and we'll say, God, thank you for living in me. Like, you know how powerful it is? Like, the being of the universe, he lives in me. So if he lives in me, guess what else lives in me? Hope. Come on, somebody. Love, peace, joy. All those things that he is lives in me because he is in me. He is I am. He is I am that I am, the great I am, right? And so because of whatever is in him lives in me. And so I don't know who that was for. I don't even know where I was going with that. But just know that God lives in you. And so, that's where I was going. Yeah, I just couldn't consistently live in that place, right? We have those moments. We're human, but couldn't consistently live in that place. And so I think my fruit is better now. Let's say that. I think my fruit is better. The root, it seems to be more grounded, right? And again, it wasn't Beyonce. I just didn't wake up like this. I had to consciously put in effort and work. Come on, somebody, to not live in that place, because it's easy to live in those places that keeps us down and frustrated or sad, because it takes courage to overcome those things. It takes courage to hope and to believe again. It takes courage to keep moving forward. That's the things people don't talk about sometimes, because that's why it's so easy to stay down. And so I had to work through those things. I had to become aware, because I saw my external actions, it's not giving me the outcome that I would like. So that my what I've been working on the inside was not a good. I was putting that thing out, right? And so just wanted to make sure that you guys are checking in on yourself. And even though this is our last season, always do your root check, right? If the fruit is off, the root is off. So see what your fruit is doing, and therefore you can see, let me get back in alignment and in truth, or whatever your root may be. For me, my root is my faith, and my faith is rooted in Jesus Christ, my Savior. And so let's go ahead and move forward, since we're talking about the fruit, right? It's what inspired you, right? It's the inner work for outer impact. And what has inspired me, Pathfinders, these past few weeks has been super busy. It's toward the last week of school. As I told you guys, I am a grade level administrator for the seniors, and their last day was a few weeks ago. And so just trying to get things done and together for them. But a lot of things inspired me over these past few weeks. We got to catch up, y'all. And so one of the things that really inspired me that I can think of off the top of my head was actually this week. So a few weeks ago, we had what we call our senior recognition. That is a place where when seniors are recognized for their academics. So pretty much it's saying like an award ceremony, right? So scholarships are presented. And this is the opportunity where the students can come and they'll have their posters, and they'll say, hey, my name is Shanita Brown. I am attending University of Texas at Arlington, and I will be studying broadcast communications. And so this is where they get to show off, yeah, this is where I'm going. I'm excited. And so our whole theme was a travel theme, right? And so I said, we're descending, we can see the land. And so the whole idea is when they get off this plane, you've been on this plane ride, this journey with all of these people who've traveled. You rode on the plane, you know what I'm talking about. But then when you land, everybody's going to their different areas, their different gates. And so that was the whole idea. It was like, this senior year, we've been on a plane ride. We've had turbulence, we've had setbacks, we've had connecting flights, we had cancellations, some delays. But guess what? We were on this journey together, and now we're going our separate ways. And so I was able to give a speech, right, as the grade level administrator, and the kids, they're so funny. It's like, preach, Dr. Brown. And I told my mama had told me, she said, girl, I know you gonna preach. I said, no, I ain't gonna preach. And it's just in my delivery, right? It's just who I am. And so a few days ago, some young ladies, they were helping me. These young ladies were underclassmen. They were helping me do some things in my room. And we were talking about, one of the young ladies said, Dr. Brown. I said, what's up? She said, you're not like the other teachers. I said, what does that mean? Because I'm a little curious. She said, you live your faith out loud. Like, I know that you're a Christian. I was like, girl, shut up. Shut up. And I was so happy about that. Because, you know, I done said one or two cuss words. But she said, I'm glad you're a Christian. And I said, thank you. That means a lot. And she said, yeah, we saw the senior recognition. It was streamed in our classrooms. Our teachers streamed it on the TV. And they said, man, you was preaching. I felt the Holy Spirit. I felt God. You know, and I thought that was amazing. Like, I was like, what? That's crazy. And so they were like, we just could tell by your fruit, by your light, by the way you carry yourself, your energy, you're happy, and all these things they were just saying. And it just touched my heart so much, because it goes back to knowing who you are. You just don't know, because again, y'all have heard me say this before, we're with ourselves 24/7, 7 days a week. And so sometimes our own perception of ourselves, our own incompetence, because sometimes, even especially throughout this school year, my testimony is it was nobody but God, because I don't know how else I overcame this. It was nobody else but God, right? But people outside looking in, they don't just see that. They see like, man, they see something different, because they don't see the progress or the struggle, the internal struggles or the internal processes. And so for her to say that meant so much to me. So that's one of the things that inspired me. As well as I have a her all girls leadership club on my campus, and every year at the end of the year we have a marriage ceremony. And so this time we had a marriage and a vow renewal, because the girls last year who got married, they renewed their vows this year. And so pretty much what that looks like is just making a vow to yourself. Just said, I'm gonna love myself, lead myself first, my self-worth, my value, whatever they want to write down, and just promising these things to themselves. So coming into covenant with themselves as it relates to whatever it is that they desire and that they write down. And so that inspired me. Just hearing some of the girls' stories. One girl said that, what did she say? She said, I'm grateful for the silent victories. I said, oh my, baby, that's good, because you're going to have a lot more of those silent victories. And so those are the things that really touched my heart, that grabbed my attention just over these past few weeks. And then, of course, the parents. Y'all have heard me talk about the senior parents. They've been amazing, and just their love and gratitude towards the things that they see me do. And I've received so many letters from my students, from the seniors, just about over the past 4 years, how I've impacted their life. And some went on as far as to say, not only that you teach me leadership, but you showed it in your everyday life. And so all of these things inspire me just to keep moving on, just to keep pressing on, because what I'm doing is working, and they are seeing the inner work that I'm doing, right, is producing an outer impact. And because of that, the people are able to enjoy the fruit of my labor, because baby, it has been labor, and not just labor in a way of events or making sure these kids graduate, but just labor even within myself. It goes back to what I was saying at the beginning about overcoming those challenges, right? What do you want to overcome? And just knowing like, hey, I don't do this for me, but I do it for, number one, the kingdom, and then I do it for those who are coming behind me. Why? Because I am a pathfinder. And that leads us to our final talk that I really want to get us into. And that final talk is, I just want to encourage and remind the people of a few things, two things. Let your light shine. When you are a pathfinder, that is what you're doing. You are letting your light shine. You are going before, and you are finding a way forward for other people to follow. And when your light shine, people will recognize it, and people will see it. Yes, they will. They will recognize it, and they will see it, and that will draw them unto you. How do I know? Because this past week, again, go back to the senior recognition. And during the senior recognition, there was a lady from HQ who was sitting in the audience. After the whole recognition, she comes, she gives me a hug, a great big hug. She said, Dr. Brown, this is amazing. She said, I can see why these kids love you. you've made such an impact. And not only did she say that, what she also did, she went the extra mile. The next day, she sent the email and she copied people from headquarters. And as she was copying the people she copied the people from headquarters, and she talked about my impact over these past 4 years. She said, it is evident the work that Dr. Brown has done because you can see it. And that's just one time seeing me just do all of these things or interacting with my kids over all these 4 years. So the input, the work that I put in, it paid off. And when I say it paid off, it's an outsider coming in and saying, man, look at this. So what am I saying, Pathfinder? Let your light shine. Let it shine so bright. And who cares if people can't stand your light? Give them some sunshades and you keep shining bright. And as you're shining bright, you are unconsciously, like subconsciously, allowing other people to be the best version of themselves. So shine bright. What Rihanna say? Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright. Be authentically you. As you're being authentically you, that means being genuine, being true to thy own self. Be true to your values. Be consistent, because when you are consistent, it builds credibility and people know who you are. My students, they know there's certain things I'm not going to bend. Oh, that's Dr. Brown because she is consistent. And they be always fussing, but I guarantee you, they're going to come back in about 10 years and say, that dang Dr. Brown, thank you. Because they know I'm consistent and they can trust my consistency, because my consistency is my credibility. So what do I want to say to you, Pathfinders? Let your light shine. Be authentically you and be consistent. Model what you expect. That's a part of self-awareness. Am I aligned with who I say I am? Am I aligned with my words? Am I aligned with who I want to be? Am I aligned with what I want to model, what I expect? And watch what happens. Y'all be encouraged. Thank you for an incredible season. Y'all don't even know how excited I am right now. I'm trying to hold back my preachment, because if it wasn't for you, Pathfinders, I don't know. So thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for those DMs. Thank you for the messages and sharing the information, reposting the videos, sharing it with your network. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Until next season, y'all stay up, be blessed, have an incredible summer. We got some great things going on this summer. We're going to do some leadership conferences. So I'm super excited about that. Please be following us on our Instagram at the Leaders Coach Pod, and also my personal Instagram at Dr. Shanita_Brown. Some great things are happening. Please support. Don't just support with the free stuff, but support with what you're investing in, because there will be a return on your investment. Again, from the bottom of my heart, from the Leaders Coach Podcast, have an incredible summer. And we see you guys season 4 coming up in a few months. God bless you. This has been the Leaders Coach Podcast with Dr. Shanita Brown.